that when we are designing a screen, then inside the screen there will be different components. Okay, so those components, for example, a text box, a button, an image, okay, and so on. So all these different components inside a screen should be aligned and connected to each other in what way? They should be vertically aligned, they should be horizontally aligned, or how they should be aligned to each other. Okay, so these are defined in the application. Here you see in the main activity that XML. So if you go to the split component, let me close this one and let me open, make it this one bigger. So you see, if you see here, here we have the first layer. This one is the layout component. So in this case, we are using constraint layout. So there is a linear layout. For example, if I type linear or grid, L L-I-N or L-E-N. Okay, sorry, I forgot the spelling. So I will just come back to the same point. Okay, with my studio today is crazy. Constraint layout. Okay. Okay, so here we can change to different layout. For example, if I type grid layout, yeah. So you see this one, grid layout. So when I change this one to grid line, it changed this one also to grid line. So here everything will be like uh, in a different grid style. Everything will be aligned like that. But I want this one to come back to constraint layout back. Okay, so when I change that one back, it also come back to this one. So the most easy one and the best one that I like is a constraint layout. So what is actually constraint layout and how it works? So as I told you, constraint layout tells us and specifies how these components will be aligned in uh, the screen. So if I close, if I just go to design view, close this, okay, and now if you see these are the constraints. So mean you see this hello world view is linked to the left. Here it is attached to the right, it are attached to the left, attached to the top, attached to the bottom. So this is why all these are defined already. So now it will be in the center. So if I want to remove all these constraints, just come to this property layout and cross this one. You see the bottom one cut off, so it went up. If I cross this one, you see, so top gun, right gun and left gun. So meaning to say there is no layout anymore for this uh, mm, text view. If I bring a button, okay, a button also, so you see one button, but I'm not defining any layout. This is why I want to show you what is the benefit of layout. So if I run now this application in this way, there is one hello world text view and one button, and I didn't fix any layout for that, then you see the output of this display is already there. So you can see the hello world is in the center when, but in the new display we remove all the constraint. So when it is compiled successfully and installed, then you will see how it works and where it goes. It will go when there is no constraints. actually the views, the buttons, they are just floating in the screen because we have not fixed any place of display for that, and we have not connected to anything, so it's just floating and it may be overlap with each other also. So let's see when it compile. You can see here in the display now that you see the button and actually the text view, they are overlapped to each other. The text view is under the button now, and this is why uh, this is the benefit of constraints. Okay, to force the system and to define for the system how to align the different components. Okay, now stop the running status of this, and now let me define for this one first. Okay, for this one, so let's define a right, and let's define left, and let me bring this one a bit down, then I can see, and define the top. Okay, so I defined already for this one that you see 200 pixel from the top, and here if you want to see the actual value, it will be in the properties. Okay, but I have connected to the right, to the left, and to the top. Okay, so it is connected to everywhere now. If now this one I am connecting to the right and connecting to the left only. So you see, I defined that this button to the left and to the right should be from left, and from the right perspective it should be in the middle. But I didn't specify the top position and the bottom position. And for this one, you see, we have already specified it is 200 week. Now let's see, you see, what will be again the result of this. Yeah, you see, in our design, the text view should be at the top, the button should be down, but you see in the actual display, the button is at the top. Why? Because we didn't fix here the top and bottom constraint. Okay, so if we want to fix this one here, you can fix, you have two options. If you want to fix with this view, or if you want to fix from the perspective of the parent view of the whole screen, so it's up to you. Okay, so let me stop the the running status. Now you see, if I define the constraint, you see I am getting the options that I can connect to this also, I can connect to the top also, and even I can connect to this top also. Okay, so it's up to you where you want to connect. Okay, so I don't want to connect to that top, let's suppose, and let me close this one. I will see the attributes, and from here, in this case, I want to remove the top here. You can remove using this one, you can remove through the coding also. Okay, but you see now I want to connect to this one, so now it is connected, but you see it is quite near to this one. You can drag a bit, and then you will see the value if you can see here, otherwise you can see here the value. And maybe if you want to type here, let's suppose 50, you can type here, it's up to you. Now if you run, now we have fixed the constraints, the alignment of these two components. So now they will display accordingly. This process is maintained by a layout which is called constraint layout. Okay, sometime some people are using linear layout. So in a linear layout, the components are linearly aligned. There is a grid layout, there is a table layout. So in a table, in a row, the grid layout and table layout is almost the same. It's They arrange the items in rows and columns are in a column and then inside it. Depends on you. Column, rows and columns and then inside the column again row. So different design strategies are there, but different people, different strategy is easy. So whatever you like, but for me, it is very easy the constraint layout. Just drag and connect with the other one. You can see the output now that you see whatever we define here is exactly in the actual output. Okay, so this is called constraint layout and how to manage the different component, how to link, how to align different component. By component I mean the button, the text wave, images and so on within a screen, that how it should display. Okay, now I want to tell you another one very important aspect. You know, we have, let me close this home.java and home.xml and the manifest file to just leave the two file. One is the interface file, okay, and one is the main activity file. We have these two, and actually they are linked together like this. Okay, let me show you. When I'm switching from different apps, my computer cannot support. But okay, wait a bit. Yeah, like this. So you see, we have activity main.xml. In the XML, we are defining the user interface. Okay, and behind this user interface, for example, there is a button, there is a text view, there is an image view. So how the button will work, how the text will work, behind this user interface is a coding which is in the main activity.java. So the Java code and the interface code. How to link these two together, that if you apply some functionality in the Java, how it will apply on the user interface, and if you apply something here, how it will apply in the Java code. So meaning to say, how to link these two faces, the back end, which is Java code, and the front end, which is the user interface, in mostly is the XML file. And this XML file we can see in two way. One is the preview like this, and another one is the text view, the coding one. Okay, but how to link this user interface with the behind the back end coding, this is actually done by ID. Every component here in the user interface have an ID, and then using that ID here in the Java code, you can find uh, that component by ID. Okay, and these all IDs are actually stored in a one global class which is called R. Okay, R stands for resources. So anything you drag here to the user interface, that information is stored in the resources class. So in the resources, we can find by resources.id. So if you have defined ID for that, then you can easily find. Let me show you practically how it works. Okay, now if I go to this one, you see this is the user interface. We have one text view uh, and one button. So I will change a little bit the size of the text view, the hello world, and I just want to change the size a bit bigger, like size. Okay, and then let's suppose 40 SP, and now it's quite bigger. It should be a bit dark also color, and color and black. You Once you select a color, you see you will get this left icon. From here you can change any color you want. Even if you want to design any custom one, you can design. So if let's suppose we want this one, then just go with this. Okay, so it will become okay. Now if you look at here in the coding also, if you see this one, this text view has an ID here, text view 2, and the same ID you can find here also. You see, text view ID. It depends, it's up to you where you want to change. If you want to change here, if you want to change here, it's up to you. But the easy way to change here the ID. Okay, and mostly for the IDs, the standard practice is like this, that if it is a text view, then we are using txt. Okay, and then after the view, the for which purpose you are using. For example, if I use title view, txt title, you can leave like this also. Or if you want to further explain, like title view. Okay, so now I'm changing its ID to this one. So if I press enter, I will get a message that do you want to refactor. A refactor means that previously its ID was different, which is used at several locations, like in the resources file. Okay, and in here in the XML file it is text view the 2, but now you have changed. Do you want to replace at all locations wherever the previous ID has been used? So yes, refactor, then it will change everywhere. You see, it is changing here, here. Now we have ID of this. Let's define for the button also. For the button here, the ID is button. Okay, I just want to change a bit. Uh, yeah, let's suppose leave it at this moment for the button, but mostly we are using btn for button, and maybe here is, let's suppose, save. Okay, and let's suppose the text is also refactor, yes, and here the text is also, let's suppose, save. You may have several buttons, then in this way you can differentiate, like btn save, btn sign up, btn register, and so on. Okay, so btn stands for button and the save button. So now we have two components, we have different ID. The text view have txt title view ID, and it has btn save ID. So remember the IDs. Now if we go to the Java file, okay, to the Java file, here we have a lot of coding for this purpose. I think do you need the coding of this? If you need the coding of this one, then I think I will save this one and close this one quickly. Okay, before saving, let me copy all these first, that the new one I can quickly change. Okay, close this project, create a new one, empty, yes, ID, explanation, finish. Okay, so I'll just quickly finish. First, let it load first. It will take a short time. I hope you are with me and you understand what I am doing and what I am explaining. And I am keep repeating that if any problem, any issue, you can stop me You can tell me that, okay, let's suppose if you didn't get something, you can stop me. I will repeat again and again and again until you learn. Okay, so all of you, please don't shy. Mm, And if any problem, any question, you can stop me. Yeah, almost loaded. Okay, so I will open the layout file. And you see the layout file is here. The Java file is under the Java file folder. The layout file, the interface file is under resources and then layout, and this is the XML layout. Okay. Otherwise, you see both of them are here also. Yeah. Yeah. So I will close the property side, and the layout file is open. I will split to text, and if you remember from the previous one, I have copied all the properties. I will just replace. You see, the previous text I just press here, all the setting I got automatically here to save the time. Now we design the user interface. Now the question is how to link this interface with the code behind it, the Java code behind it. So here, now you see inside in this uncreate, meaning to say when it is creating at the beginning, when this screen is created at the beginning, then what you should do. Okay, now we need to you need three steps. Let me try to explain. When you are connecting these components, you need three steps. Number one, you need to create a variable. Okay, create. Let me change my. Yeah, create uh, a variable. A variable of each type, meaning to say, if it is a button, then button variable. If it is a text view, then text view variable. Okay. Uh, or if it is whatever component you are using in the user interface. So for example, here we have one text view. Okay. One text view and one button. So we need to create two variables are instances. It is called instances also. Actually, it is an object, but okay, but you simply say variable or instance of these two. You can create these instances at two places. For example, okay, let me explain this one first. So we can create this at two places. I will explain later. Second step is what? When you are linking the user interface and the Java code, that once you create these variables, then you will use a function which is called find view by ID. Find a function, okay, find view by ID, and link. The main point is that link, link the variable, okay, with the user interface, with the UI, using the ID. I will show you how to do it. So the set using the ID. Second step. Third step, you see, you create a variable, you link the variable and the user interface using ID with each other. Third step, you can apply any operation now, meaning to say, if you want to change its text, if you want to apply click event, if you want to apply any other operation on these things, now you can apply. So these three steps, remember, don't forget, create a variables of this, link the user interface and the variables, and then after that call any functions or properties. Here you will need two things. Note the point. Here you can use only two things. One, we can use properties of the user interface or functions. Okay, functions, for example. Okay, what do you mean by properties? For example, if the color in the text view, the color the color of the text is, let's suppose, red, you want to change it to black, so it is a property. If you want the size of a text to bigger or smaller, it is a property. But uh, if you want that if someone click the button, tap the button, then some functionality should be applied, that is a function. So you can apply now properties and functions. Okay, how to do that? You see, now the first point, that you can create the variables at global level also and local level also. Global level, you see these curly brackets show the class level, that any function later on you define inside this class, if you define here, so its visibility is global. For example, if you, and these are variables, mostly variable we define as a private. Okay, private. And then what type of, for example, text view, you see, if I just type capital T capital V, I will get the option text view. So and then text view. Okay, if you, this is the variable, you can give any name. Android Studio give you a quick option, like you see this one, the T is capital, the V is capital, but here everything is small. Okay, and semicolon. We created one variable. Okay, and now second variable, private. What does it private mean? Private means that these variables that we are creating, this will be visible inside this class, but it is not visible to another class inside this application. Like for example, when you add another screen, then to another screen it is not visible. I hope you understand the private and public. You still remember if you have attended object-oriented class. Okay, so private button. Okay, uh, button, and you can define any button that you want. For example, it quickly gives us this option, so it's okay. So you see, we created two variables because we have two components on our user interface. This is why we created two. Now come to the uncreate function, because when initially this screen is created, we want at that time that these two things are linked to each other, the Java code and the interface. So how to create? Now we can find, you see, the text view. You see the variable that we created, this text view should be equal to, here equality means that we are linking with, how, find view by ID. You see, sorry, I find the F should be smaller. Find view by ID. You see, find view. Actually, in Android and in mobile development, everything, the text view, the edit text, the buttons, the image view, all these are actually views. Okay, and all these are inherited from a parent class, which is view. This is why it is called find view by ID. So find view by ID, this function you will call, and the R is a global array which contain a list of everything that you have in this application. So R dot ID, you see, R dot ID. If you remember the ID of your buttons, so you see txt text view. Okay, and then semicolon. Now this variable link with my interface using the ID. So here if I apply anything on this variable, it will be applied on the interface. Okay, so now they are linked to each other. In the same way, the button, okay, button equal to find view by ID. Okay, and then R dot, the R will be capital, ID will be small, R dot ID dot. Okay, and then the btn save, and then semicolon. Now this variable this variable is linked with the interface with the button, with this button. So whatever I apply here in the Java code, it will be applied on that at the interface level. Okay, now let's suppose you see, okay, as I told you that you can define at two places. You can create the variables here also, and you can actually create the variable here also. If you want to create here inside, then you see no need of this. I will cut this one, okay, and will type here, and this one I will delete. So I will define one at the top and one here, just for you. Here no need to type text view. If you want to define outside the function, then you will write private. Here no need, it means it is already private. Okay, it is at this function level only. Okay, at this function level only, meaning to say any component inside this function can access this one. Okay, so like this also and like this also. Now if I want to apply, let's suppose the click event on the on this text, okay, then I can do like this. Let's suppose button that set on click listener. You see, set and click listener. So it means I am defining a click, a tapping event function for this. So then new, okay, and then set on view dot and click listener. If you just type capital O, Java Android Studio give you the option. The first option you will have to select. Then the basic coding block Android Studio will do for you. So it means that whenever someone tap or click the button, what should be happen? So whatever functionality you want, you can type here now. Okay, just for simplicity, I will just display a short message which is called toast in mobile development. Okay, so how to create a short message which display for a while and disappear automatically. This type of displaying a message is called toast. So using create toast the sorry toast toast. Here you see it, you have when you properly type the function or class name. Not another point, when you are calling a class, independent functionality is mostly classes, and functions are defined in the parent classes. So if when you are calling a class, it starts from capital, like see here the T start from capital, and when you are calling a function, then it start from lowercase, like find view by id, the F is smaller. If you type the F capital, you will not get the options. Okay, so when you get the when you correctly type the name of any function, you will get this options. So here you have two options, one the top one the lower one. If you click the lower one, okay, you will get the full template of this one. Okay, let me show you using the full template. uh, Toast that make text, okay, where the text should display, it should display in the main activity. The text of that message should be what you can display here, like hey, let's suppose like this. And second property, it has two options. Toast dot length short, the message should display for how long, the time which it display. It display short or it display long. You can actually define these two if you want. You see dot uh, length, you see length short and length long. let me do the long one first that you could see first, and after that you will define dot show. Okay, so this will create the short message with this message, having this message, and it will be for a few seconds and then disappear. Okay, this one I am repeating once again for you to learn. You see, if I type TOAST toast, okay, so you have two options, the first one and the second one. When you select the second one, you see here is create a new toast, and if you click this one, so this is just the Android widget, okay. So if I click this one, not the second one, then I will get this, and then that create make text. Okay, and in make text, I will type. You see now here it means context. The context here is written context, meaning to say the message should be displayed where, in which context. If you have several screens, where it should display. So we want this in a main activity dot java, main activity dot this. Okay, so it means it will be displayed in this screen. After that, what should be its text? Okay, its text will be, let's suppose, hey, okay, uh, and after that, for how long it should display, like toast uh, dot toast dot length, short or long, let's suppose long. And after that, you see, you will must call the toast will be created now, but if you didn't call another function which is called show, then it will not display. It will be created, but it will not display. So in two ways you can do it. I really like the second option. I am showing you once again. Okay, the you see, if you select this one, the whole skeleton is written for you. Okay, so let me delete all these things and show you leaving this one. Okay, so save this coding and run. When you run it, we will see that when we tap on the button, then we can see the message. So in this lesson, I just want to teach you how to link the user interface and the Java coding, and how to apply operations from Java coding on the user interface. Yeah, we got. Okay, so you see here uh, a hello world and the button. If I click on the button, a message will display, because here we have defined a click listener for that, and in the click listener we created a toast message. So if I click save, you see here at the bottom, and it's for a bit long time. Click again, okay, okay. So this is the way how to link the user interface and the Java code with each other, and then you can apply operations. If you want operations, some processing, anything from Java, it will be applied at the user. From user interface, the Java will implement it. So I hope it is easy and you understood. If you didn't get any one of you, you can ask me. I can explain again and again.